major released WWE talent returned on SmackDown last night. We have an update on Logan Paul's WWE future, and the WWE Women's Tag Team titles future has been revealed. Stay tuned for the news. So starting off on today's news, we've got a big return, I would say. It's a big return.
Yeah, it kind of came from nowhere as well. There'd been like a little rumbling of a rumor, then it died down, and then a few hours before the show, it was like, ooh, and then it happened.
I think this week it's been sort of everyone's got their eyes on WWE.
Yeah.
I think we were mentioning on the podcast that it feels quite exciting to be a WWE fan again because we're not sure what's going to happen. And on last night's SmackDown, as we said, we saw a big return. And less than a year after they were released from the company, 2 stars of return, of course, that is Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Now, we saw them return during the closing segment of last night's SmackDown. We saw Drew McIntyre cutting a promo on Roman Reigns to build to the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match, the Uwu belt, at Clash at the Castle Premium Live event. Now, I did put that in big writing on our notes there because every single week we've come in here and we've gone pay-per-view at premium live event. So we've got it there. It's a premium live event. But during the segment, what happened, Sam?
So we had,
grey.
the screen goes all grey, like they put a layover effect on it. Everybody's a bit confused. Spoopy music started. Roman's in the middle of the ring just kind of going,
what's going on?
And Drew turns to the entranceway where we've got Scarlett present. Commentary's going like, "Oh my, could it be? Is it? Oh, what's going on? Oh!" And then out of nowhere, Karrion Kross attacks Drew, lays him out, like really takes him to the steps, and he's driving Drew's head just into the steps over and over and over again. And then eventually, it kind of comes down to Scarlett, Karrion, Roman, and they leave the hourglass on the
signature
apron.
hourglass. We've seen that so many times in NXT, and now when Karrion Kross was originally brought to the main roster, it didn't go that well. He was given some really unfortunate outfits and didn't really fit his character.
They kind of wanted to do the whole gladiatorial thing with him, but it was far too comic booky, and it's sort of, you had a ready-made guy. You had a ready-made package with him and Scarlett, and they just kind of binned it off.
I think everyone during his NXT run was like, okay, he doesn't fit in with this current NXT, but on the main roster,
he'd be great.
He's money. He's absolute money. And so it's great to see him back on SmackDown. It's interesting they've put him, Triple H obviously being in charge now, has put him straight into a major feud, which was the same in NXT. He came in and won the NXT title pretty soon after his arrival.
I think it feeds into the next story that we're going to talk about here a little bit, because there was kind of rumor surrounding the fact that we've sort of got a title that should be on one show being tied up, so we have the double championship, but apparently Fightful Select have been reporting that the USA Network isn't happy with the lack of a world title on Raw, and they've told WWE, hey, come on, like, we want a world title. We want a world title to be featured more, and they want to factor it more into creative plans, and it's more like, it's an expected thing, surely.
Yeah,
when they get the show, they're like, "Hey,
they're paying a lot of money. They're paying a lot of money for the show, and like they pay it per hour. So you'd expect that they would have, the World Championship, and something to make your show want to be watched.
They say Roman can go between, but Roman's really kind of barely been on Raw.
He's primarily been on SmackDown for the past year, I guess, really, because leading up to WrestleMania, he was a SmackDown exclusive superstar. So like that makes sense, and it would be very interesting. Sort of these two stories kind of blend together, but going back to the previous one with Karrion Kross, it was reported by Fightful that one of the pitched ideas was for Kross to insert him into the Drew McIntyre Roman Reigns feud, which we saw on SmackDown, and have him involved for one of Roman Reigns' world titles rather than both. Are we going to see Reigns defend 2 titles separately at Clash at the Castle?
I'd be very interested in that as a prospect, but I think that, going back to the other side of it just for a second on the titles, USA apparently went as far as to pitch an interim belt, and it's like, well, why do the interim belt when you can just have Kross take the belt from him in a very shocking manner?
The fact
and then Roman is still, the unified. Roman's still the universal champion, so Roman can still boast that that's bigger than the world. It means more.
I mean, that's his belt.
Whatever.
It's the one that he's held for over 700 days. I don't want to see him lose that one if he's going to lose one and they want to keep one on him.
It kills two birds with one stone, right? You don't have to get an interim title. You have a very shocking, big, memorable moment with Karrion Kross taking the title if they do indeed go that way. And the title will, I know he's turned back up here on SmackDown, but if he wins that belt, he can be quickly harmlessly thrown over to Raw, where he's also got TV 14, where he can also be a little bit more violent, where he can also be Killer Kross.
I mean, we say that, but the thought of an interim belt, if they were to bring back the big gold,
I'd not.
Go for it.
I'd not complain about that.
Definitely wouldn't complain about that one. But we moving on to our next story.
Big gold with just a USA Network logo slapped in the middle of it.
Maybe on the side plates. But a big gold return would be my choice out of this. But we'll see what happens with Karrion Kross and Roman Reigns going forward in the USA Network wanting a belt on Raw. But we've got an update on Logan Paul's WWE status next. From the Wrestling Observer, it reported that Paul won't be doing WWE again soon, as he's concentrating on a proposed boxing match in December, which Logan Paul actually spoke to Pat McAfee on the Pat McAfee show about this and said, "I'm a boxer now again. We're going to go from professional sport to professional sport. I want to fight in December, and I have some people in mind, but I can't say, so don't spoil anything. I like making first impressions big, and so I want to keep it secret until we're ready." Paul last competed in the world of boxing, of course, against Floyd Mayweather Jr. back in June of 2021, which is a crazy sentence to say. That Logan Paul.
It's been a wild ride watching the whole YouTube boxing thing, but I think it's going to be interesting because, I mean, obviously Logan Paul signed a multi-year deal with WWE, but that doesn't make him, a regular full-time member of the roster. What's going to be interesting for me to see here is how WWE is going to handle this sort of, I want to do external things. Okay, is that going to lead to Bobby Lashley maybe getting his wishes to go back and do some MMA? Although it has been a little while now. It's been like 6 years for him.
It has been a while since his last fight,
but, maybe that will set a precedent for outside work. If we are, if rumors are sounding more and more correct that, potentially we could see Sasha and Naomi come back, I'd imagine that there's going to be some proviso in there for outside acting work and all sorts of stuff. So maybe this will kind of open the gates a bit.
Purely speculation, but we did see Dakota Kai's return last Saturday at SummerSlam, and she's continuing to stream on Twitch. So it looks like they might be slightly more relaxed about this thing, as you're saying. Obviously, fighting in a boxing match and streaming on Twitch are totally different beasts.
Things. I mean, the biggest worry here, of course, for WWE is surely going to be like what happens if he gets, really injured or something. But at the same time, I think the beauty of a deal like Paul's is that, they can bring him in for spots if they need it. But they can really sort of wait and bide their time and build a program once he's ready to return.
And I imagine going into this boxing match, it will be heavily WWE superstar Logan Paul is facing insert boxing star here. I'm not a boxing guy really, so I can't speculate on who he could be facing, but I'm sure it will be
Mike Tyson.
I mean, Floyd Mayweather going to Mike Tyson next, I wouldn't count it out. But we're sticking with some more WWE news here. A championship match has been set for SmackDown next week. It was made official on SmackDown that Ludwig Kaiser lost to Shinsuke Nakamura, and I think the stipulation would be that Nakamura would get a chance to fight Gunther, and he's going to he could become a 3-time Intercontinental Champion, so that will take place next week.
Workhorse. Workhorse. I don't think he's getting it off him, but absolute workhorse.
He's someone that's he's a good hand. He's a good hand.
It's such a crime that's now how we look at Shinsuke Nakamura, isn't it? When you look at, that
it's the match that always I think of is the one against Sami Zayn, Takeover, and then the one against AJ Styles a couple months before at Wrestle Kingdom.
That match is oh my god,
they're fantastic. So maybe Nakamura will beat Gunther. I doubt it. Everyone's sort of behind Gunther at the moment, but it'll be a good match nonetheless. If they get given time, and they seem to be giving more time to matches recently.
Unless they just want to strap the rocket to Gunther, get the IC off him, and then give him all the gold.
Maybe he's the one that's going to take the belt from Reigns. We don't know.
I would not be against that.
But also, it'd be incredible. It'd have one hell of a run. But we're going to finish this today with some future plans revealed for the women's tag team titles. When Sasha and Naomi walked out of WWE back in May.
How could they?
I know,
they let the whole company down, guys.
Pat McAfee's
Well,
anyway, they walked out back in May, and on the following SmackDown, I think it was the May 20th edition of SmackDown, they announced that they've been stripped of the belts, and there would be a tournament crowned to decide the new champions. Well, it's now August.
It's taken a while.
We're quite a few months later. Summer is we're now.
I think we've been waiting to see what was going to happen with the developing situation as well.
Obviously there's loads of speculation about Sasha and Naomi potentially coming back to the company and where they'll fit in. But they announced on SmackDown that a tournament will begin on Raw to decide the new champions. Now there's no word on who's actually going to be competing in the tournament.
Yeah.
My bet is going to be Sasha and Naomi coming at the end.
They're going to have to really, get some teams together. They need to make this tournament a big deal because I think this is the potential last breath of it's sort of the last chance for this division to really take off, because these titles just feel like they've been aimlessly passed around for so long that it's
forgotten about.
We need something exciting, but I think you are right that if they are set to return, if that is going to happen, an easy way to have them return is to be like, well, you're not the champions, we're still the champions, and you have your title versus title.
Dream scenario though, Io Sky.
Yep.
And Dakota Kai winning the belts as they sort of raise their arms up. Sasha and Naomi walk out with their own sets of belts and go, well, we're also still the champions. And what a feud that would be going into whatever tournament or wherever it finishes up, whatever pay-per-view, premium live event. But that is that's all the news we've got for you just now. We'll be back this afternoon. I do want to just say thank you to everyone that tuned in on the Twitch stream last night to help raise money for Stonewall in memory of one of our fantastic friends and moderators, Jenny, who sadly passed away. We raised £1,514.50. That was all thanks to you guys tuning in. We're really, really proud of the community, and it just shows the love that the community had for Jenny. And yeah, it was just incredible. So thank you all for doing that. But we'll be back later on. So see you later.